Quote, "By nature worship and neo-paganism, I refer to the atheist's tendency to replace a sense of awe of God and seeking transcendence by relating to God with seeking awe and transcendence in nature. This natural high, as it were, is not merely enjoyed, but is enjoined and said to be holier than theism." Atheists typically don't worship nature. We're certainly in awe of it, at least I am. But do we consider it holy? Holier than whatever? What does holy mean? In order to consider something holy, you have to believe in a higher power that consecrated it. Atheists don't believe in that kind of higher power. Quote, "Presupposing a God-free reality, why atheists seek transcendent experiences remains unanswered. Also unanswered is the question why theists think that only people who believe in gods want such experiences." Michael Ruse, philosophy professor, ardent evolutionist, and professedly an ex-Christian who has argued for the ACLU against the Balanced Treatment Bill in the United States, wrote, "Evolution is promoted by its practitioners as more than mere science. Evolution is promulgated as an ideology, a secular religion, a full-fledged alternative to Christianity with meaning and morality. This was true of evolution in the beginning, and it's true of evolution still today." Creationist quote mining at its finest. Ruse is not saying that evolution is a religion, but that unfortunately there are plenty of people who act as if it were. He never implies that it involves faith or worship, but rather that some people use it as a moral guide or find a meaning of life in it. He's arguing against things like this because that's not what evolution is. It's a scientific theory explaining the diversity of life. It's not a religion. From later on in the same article, quote, "Evolution, Darwinian evolution, is wonderful science. Let us teach it to our children, and in the classroom, let us leave it at that." Atheist religion, quote, "Let us consider the atheists from the 18th to the 21st centuries who expressed the desire to establish an atheistic religion. Perhaps we should begin with Jean-Jacques Rousseau, who conceived of a civil religion. There is therefore a purely civil profession of faith of which the sovereign should fix the articles, not exactly as religious dogmas, but as social sentiments without which a man cannot be a good citizen or a faithful subject. While it can compel no one to believe them, it can banish from the state whoever does not believe them. It can banish him not for impiety, but as an antisocial being, incapable of truly loving the laws and justice, and of sacrificing at need his life to his duty. If anyone, after publicly recognizing these dogmas, behaves as if he does not believe them, let him be punished by death. He has committed the worst of all crimes, that of lying before the law." You know, pointing out that this godless religion is just as vile as Christianity or Islam or any other theistic religion is not an argument for belief in the divine. It's an argument against religion, theistic or otherwise. Quote, "In atheism, when we die, we end up as mere fertilizer, plant food. Human life has no particular meaning or purpose, and there is no real basis for ethics, love, or even logical thought. Atheism provides no footing for a just, caring, and secure society. It's not in atheism that we become fertilizer when we die, it's in reality. Atheism doesn't address this issue, nor does it address ethics, love, logic, or the meaning of life. Of course not, because atheism is nothing more than a lack of belief in gods. Religion can answer those questions, but as I've already explained, atheism is not a religion. Personally, I turn to philosophy and science to find the answers I'm looking for. The answers we get from religion have to be accepted dogmatically, whereas the answers we get from science or philosophy are open to scrutiny. Now this, to me, makes them seem a lot more plausible. Demanding that people accept answers without questioning them is tantamount to admitting that the answers are false as far as I'm concerned. Addressing fellow atheist Jonathan Miller, Richard Dawkins stated, "You and I probably do have feelings that may very well be akin to a kind of mystical wonder when we contemplate the stars, when we contemplate the galaxies. Look, let me try to explain this whole thing. When I see a beautiful work of art, read a great book, watch a good movie, play an awesome video game, I'm always going to know that it's just something man-made. It's artificial. There's an artist, writer, whatever, a creator of some kind. A theist will experience the same thing, obviously. As much as he's enjoying this work of art, it's just a man-made work of art. The funny thing is that when the theist looks at the stars in the night sky or a sunset, I can only assume that he thinks the same thing, only on a different scale, for lack of a better word. It's all constructed. Amazing, sure, far beyond what any human artist could pull off, but it's still artificial. I mean, God did it, right? I don't feel that way. Simple deterministic laws that just are led to what we see in front of us. That's part of the wonder, and it's a part I can only assume theists are missing out on. The wonder is that the universe is there, as wonderful, strange, and incomprehensibly huge as it is, and I'm part of it. A configuration of stardust. Stardust that has existed for billions of years and will continue to exist for billions and billions more, long after the configuration that makes it me is gone. But that configuration is something very special because it's aware of its own existence. I'm something unfathomably rare and special. We all are. Not because God did it and we're his favorite creations, but precisely because, to the best of my knowledge, no one did it.